ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you could join us today for this Vichar Charcha, this thoughtful discussion on the divine guidance that's come to us from the Guru.
And this guidance, it comes to us today, August 14th, 2025, straight from the spiritual heart of our faith, Sri Darbar Sahib in Amritsar. And you know, this isn't just some ancient text we're reading. It's a living, breathing message meant for you and for me, for our lives right here and right now.
So let's just dive right in with the question. Are you feeling just totally overwhelmed? With all the pressures of the modern world? I mean, let's be real. Who doesn't feel that way sometimes? That constant push to achieve more, to own more, to be more. It's just exhausting, isn't it? Well, today's Hukamnama speaks directly to that feeling. And believe me, it offers a way out.
All right, so let's get right to it. Let's look at the core teaching for today, which comes to us from the first master, the great Guru Nanak Dev Ji.
Wow. I mean, the Guru's instruction here is so clear, so direct. It starts with this really simple command, don't be angry. Instead of getting caught up in that heat, that frustration, we're told to do something totally different, to drink in the ambrosial nectar, the sweetness of the divine. And the reason? Well, it's because this world, with all its ups and downs, all its drama, it's just not permanent.
And that idea that this is all temporary, that is absolutely key to understanding everything else. The Guru is trying to get us to see this world for what it is, kind of like a stage. And this stage, well, it's filled with these illusions, these traps that are designed to catch us, to ensnare our consciousness. So let's take a closer look at what those traps actually are.
This line just levels the playing field completely, doesn't it? It doesn't matter if you're a king, a CEO sitting in a corner office, or a pauper, someone struggling just to get by. The Guru's reminding us that none of that status sticks around. It's fleeting. In the end, it doesn't matter who you are because nobody stays here forever. So chasing that temporary power or getting all worked up about our temporary situation, it's a game we're all ultimately going to lose.
And then the Guru gets super specific, listing out the exact things that trip us up every single day. And just think about how real these are. Anger, or ragu, that flash of rage when someone cuts you off in traffic. Greed, lobe, that feeling when you see the latest phone and you just have to have it. Egotism, a hankar, that little voice that pops up in a work meeting wanting to take all the credit. And slander, chavi, oh man, that's everywhere, right? It's the gossip, it's all over social media. These aren't some dusty, ancient problems. These are our modern anxieties, right here, right now.
So what happens when we're stuck in that cycle? Chasing after temporary stuff, falling into these traps over and over. Well, life starts to feel chaotic, frantic even. Or, as the Guru puts it so bluntly, the world becomes insane. It's a world that has no peace because it's completely disconnected from its spiritual anchor.
But why? Why do we fall for it so easily? What's the real root cause of this feeling of being so lost all the time? Well, the Guru doesn't leave us hanging. We get a very precise answer.
The Guru introduces this concept, this word, manmukh. So what's a manmukh? It's basically someone who is self-willed, someone who follows the whims of their own mind, their own ego, instead of the higher wisdom of the Guru. And they're described as blind and ignorant, not because they're bad people, but because their vision is limited. They can only see the world through this tiny little lens of their own personal desires and fears.
And here's what happens. Here's the consequence of living that way. The manmukh who's so busy chasing worldly profit becomes, and I quote, a mere slave laborer. And who's the boss? Who's the master? The text calls it the mugger, Maya. What a powerful image, right? You think you're working hard for your own success, building your own future, but in reality, you're just being spiritually mugged by an illusion. So what exactly is this Maya that's mugging us? Well, think of it like the grand illusion. It's this cosmic filter that tricks our minds. It makes all the temporary stuff like wealth, status, power, even social media likes seem permanent and incredibly important. Maya is the belief that true happiness is found out there, in the things we can get. But the Guru is crystal clear. This is a total deception.
Okay. So we've laid out the problem, right? We've talked about the traps, the illusion of Maya, but the beautiful thing is the Guru never ever leaves us stranded. There's always a solution. So now let's pivot and talk about the path forward, the path to what the Hukamnama calls true profit.
And the Guru lays out this path so clearly, it's almost like a business plan for peace. Step 1, Your starting capital isn't cash, it's faith. That's your real spiritual asset. Step 2. You take that capital and you invest it in chanting the Nam, the divine name. That's the real jewel, the real profit you're after. And what's the return on investment? Step 3. True honor. Not the kind you get from your boss or from society, but the kind that is granted by the one true eternal king.
So really, it all boils down to a choice between two very different types of profit. On one hand, you've got worldly profit. You know the drill. Money, status, stuff. All things the guru reminds us are temporary and, in the end, just not satisfying. But on the other hand, you have spiritual profit. We're talking peace, bliss, true honor. And this, the guru says, is eternal. And that choice? It's not a one-time thing. We make it in every single moment of our lives.
So what happens when you start choosing that spiritual profit? What does your life actually start to look like? What's the end game of walking this path? The guru paints a really beautiful picture for us.
And the contrast between these two ways of being is, well, it's night and day. On one side, you've got the manmuk, the person who's trapped, anxious, always chasing the next thing. And on the other side, you have the gurmukh, the one who turns towards the guru. And that person, they're free. They're described as carefree, filled with love, and experiencing this deep, profound bliss. It's a total shift from a life of constant striving to a life of just peaceful being.
And this is the ultimate promise of today's message from the guru. A life that is nishant, which means carefree. And that doesn't mean careless. It means free from the cares, free from the anxieties of this temporary world. It's a life filled with the joy, the bliss that comes from connecting with the divine word, the Shabbat.
So as we start to wrap up, I really want to leave you with a question to sit with, just for today. What is one temporary thing? It could be a small worry, a grudge, a desire for something, one piece of that worldly profit that you can just mentally let go of, right now, just to see what it feels like to take one small step towards that carefree state.
And hey, if this Vichar Charcha was meaningful for you, we do this daily. So please, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out. We genuinely love hearing from all of you, so please do leave your thoughts, your reflections, or any suggestions you have for us in the comments.
I truly hope you have a great and blessed day ahead. And as always, please forgive me for any mistakes I may have made, either in my understanding or in my pronunciation of the sacred Gurbani.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।